So you want to be a Viking, don't you? Maybe even like this lad over there. Well, you're still way far from it. Odin doesn't want you to have it that easy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have sent you to Valheim to fight those mythical monsters. Each of them is represented by a stone you see here, and it is up to you to find and defeat them. But do not worry, I've got your back. I'll provide you with all the knowledge and wisdom that a mighty Viking warrior needs to begin his journey. Oh, surely you haven't forgotten how to use those meaty, muscular legs of yours, hey lad? We Viking have always moved the same since the dawn of time. You know, WSAD to move around, spacebar to jump, shift to run, the usual Viking ways. But working those thick thighs will work out an appetite. So you'll need to feel that belly of yours for the tasks ahead. Fortunately, there's plenty of food lying around. Although at first you might have to make do with what nature has to offer, which is okay, especially if the nature is against you. Ooh, careful of those bees, lad. But anyway, true warriors eat juicy meat, you know? The small problem with meat is that it might be more reluctant to be eaten. When it moves, at least. That's when you pull out the persuasion stick. After a couple hit, that tasty meat will donate itself by exploding? Well, as I always say, Odin has always been a fan of explosion. Now some of that tasty meat will be a bit faster and thus won't donate itself as easily. So you might want to use some more clever tactics, like archery. We can see who's more clever now, or not. Some never give up. If you don't like a challenge in aiming at moving targets, maybe the stealth tactic is for you. As you're probably aware of, Vikings are masters of blending with their surroundings by slightly squatting down. The way we Viking do it is pressing left control. Now all that's left to do is to strike while unseen for maximum efficiency on that first hit. If you can aim, that is. You'll get better at it. This time for sure, lad. Take your time, aim. Oh, what a shot! But maybe range weapons aren't for you. So just go for melee. Let your inner Dungeons and Dragons Steve come out and sneak up for that kill. Now, as you successfully sneak around creatures, that stealth skill will increase, making you a better stalker. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Now, as you bash, pierce, slash, and shoot, you'll slowly become better with each weapons and gain more damage with each of them. Then again, each action you do in Valheim will own a specific skill. Hell, even running and jumping can be honed. So like Shakira once sang, try everything. And trying everything includes cooking that juicy meat you got earlier. Gather some sticks and stones, make yourself a good fire, and cook away. Just don't leave it unattended for too long, as you might find that the fires of Valheim are not to be trifled with. Might break a tooth on this one, careful lad. Once you've mastered the fine art of not letting your meat burn, you've got yourself a feast, and a much better meal than those pesky berries. Although you still have to make do with them since, you know, we Vikings have 3 stomachs to fill, and thus you may have 3 meals active at a time. And remember lad, better food means a sturdier and beefier body for the fight, even more so if well rested. And what's better for a small rest than a little cozy base camp? And that sure won't be a problem, as Vikings are not only mighty warriors, they're also legendary builders. Now to build, you will need materials and, most importantly, a trustworthy tiny wooden hammer. That's right, size doesn't mean everything, lad. It's how you use it. Now don't worry, as you touch new materials and items, ideas, images, and even complicated schematic from your time in Midgard will flow through your mind. Delicious crafting recipes. Let's go over what we need to craft a house. So first you'll need a workbench. That little table puts up a circular magic field that lets you stack up wood planks together that will eventually become a house. That's right, just like this beauty. So once that workbench is built, make yourself some floor, walls, a rooftop, and you're done. Ta-da! Just don't forget to make a door. They're kind of important. Now, if you're not one of those fancy people who wants too much coziness, you can make yourselves the basics. A fire, a workbench, with a bed, or two, and you're done. Beautiful, don't you think? Oh, hey there, lad. For a little carpenting project, you'll need lots of wood, but you want to be careful when cutting it. Oh, told you that! Now let's talk about the second use of that workbench. Crafting! These tables are fancy, so they'll need a roof. So build one in your house, or maybe make one of those tiny workstation shed outside. Hey, there you go! With that done, you can get yourself some new clothes, armors, weapons and tools. Now some of the good stuff will require to upgrade the workstation itself. You can do so by installing some workstation improvement items. In the crafting menu, those are always situated on the right of the workstation that you want to upgrade. They're even conveniently indicated by a star. Thanks to Odin. Now, what's even more fun is that every pieces of equipment may be upgraded multiple times to increase their effects. Haha! Look at these numbers go up! And now that you're well equipped and ready for adventure, let me tell you that the nights in Valheim are not only dark, but they're also hella cold. You'll want to click on that crow over there. And look at that! You can now see all of your active status effects. And being cold is pretty bad, which leads us to the bed. These stacks of woods and straws can be used to skip the time. And there we go! Get up, lad! A new day begins! Now, probably you've noticed that additionally to skipping time, you will feel well rested. And let me tell you, lad, a ripped muscular body like yours needs some rest to function to its maximum efficiency. Let me tell you a little secret. Even though it doesn't say so, the rested effect also provides a bonus to all skill experience gained. That's right, less bashing, cutting and mining for more leveling. Isn't it amazing what being rested can do? Now this is pretty important, as there are multiple ways to get the rested effect. You can sit next to a lighted campfire, get into a shelter with a fire, or simply sleep. Now if you ever want to have a better rest and make the effect last longer, you need to have a comfortable shelter. Once in a shelter, the level of comfort you have is represented at the top right corner, right here. To increase the comfort of your house, you need to add sweet, comfortable furnitures. There are multiple items that you can craft to increase the comfort of your home. Here are some examples. Use your fancy pelts to make some rugs. Also, what is a civilized house without a table with some chairs or benches? or even a stool if you're cheap. It could also be banners to brag off to your friends or represent your mighty clan. Oh, and also the bed. Not only are they pretty comfortable, but these tiny pieces of wood and straw hold the power to bind your soul and rise you from the dead should misfortune befall you in your adventure. That's truly a bed worthy of Valhalla and the great Odin himself. Now, speaking of the mighty Odin, he didn't bring you here for a vacation trip, my lad. And even though living a cozy hunter's life is all good and well to survive, you are still here to hunt those mythical beasts that I mentioned earlier. And for that, you must leave behind that boar letter and wood you've got attached to. To do this, you will need the magic of smelting. Haha! That's right! I don't want to spoil any discovery, but some Vikings find smelting to be not very intuitive. So, here's a tiny guide on how it works. Get a smelter, put some ore on the left, and a coal for the fuel on the right. Oh shit, 3 people! Defend your base, lad! And voila! You've got yourself some ingots! Perfect for crafting some fancy metals. And now, it's time to hone your fighting skills to show them who's boss. So get to work! Now first lesson, always unsheath that weapon of yours, lest it won't serve you much in your back during a fight. Second lesson, every weapon not only has damage, but staggering efficiency as well. That means that once you've hit an enemy enough, it will get staggered and you will hit it for double damage. Pays off to be aggressive, hey lad. Lesson 3. Every weapon is unique and will behave differently when using them, so try them all. Now, fighting isn't only about bashing skulls and breaking ribs, although I'll admit it's pretty fun. You will need to use that thick head of yours, and not for headbutt. Vikings are known for their amazing fighting tactics. Or, if you want a secret, you can even use more strength with the mighty ultra-godly blow of 1,000 deaths. Or, as we Vikings call it, the metal mouse button. And every weapon has this special attack. Some are better in some situations, so go wild, lad, and try them out. Also note that the special attack makes it easier to stagger your enemy. While some say that offense is the best defense, every true Viking should know the secret maneuver of putting your arms in front of yourself to mitigate damage. Now, this secret maneuver gets even better when holding a weapon or a shield. Mostly a shield. They're kinda made for that. And don't worry, it's like with any other skills you hone. The more you do it, the less it'll hurt. Quite a mighty maneuver, ain't it, lad? Oh, even a mighty maneuver has its limit. Which is why you might want to dodge some of the enemy's attacks. A Viking rule is so powerful that it ignores all possible impact from your plane of existence. Talk about acrobatic prowess. And if you want even better than phasing in and out of existence, try the parry. To do so, right before an enemy's attack would hit you, hit that block button. This will multiply the block value by the parry bonus. And if that total exceeds the enemy's damage, you've got yourself a successful parry. This mighty Viking trick was passed down from generations and will surprise your enemies so much that their flesh will become as tender as beaten baby boar steak. What? It even works on range attack? What the hell, Odin? Now Vikings don't get too attached to their weapons, especially spears. you lose them quite a bit. We use what kills the most. Your Viking eyes are imbued with the power of the gods. They will confidently reveal if it's a weakness or resistance based on different colors. And trust me, you want it to be yellow. And now, don't be an animal. You were not raised in a barn, were you? Sheath those weapons of yours after a fight to run long distances. They'll just get in your way and slow you down. Although, running has its limit, and it won't help you much against the sea, trust me. But we Vikings ain't afraid of some water. After all, our ancestors tamed it. Well, unless you fall short of stamina, that is. Which is why our mothers always said,
"Be sure to eat a giant meal before going for a swim, lad."
Ah, mothers. So many islands, so much of the world to see. Get it? Okay, it's not that funny. Anyway, as you've seen, swimming will only get you so far. And I know what you're thinking. What's a true Viking without a ship? Remember that tiny hammer? Well, it just so happened that with the right materials, you can instantly create a mighty ship. Eventually, make your ancestors proud and tame the seas. Oh, hey there, lad. Don't worry, you'll get there. And there you go, lad. You know all the basics and are now ready to fight those mythical monsters. Search for those scattered runes to find their summoning altar and solve their riddles. Get ready for an epic journey in Valheim! As a bonus, here's a little secret from Odin himself. Control F3 to hide or return the UI. Thank you for watching! Good luck with those, lad! You'll need it!